Lurking in the attics of many homes of World War II veterans may be Nazis. Not literal ones, but one of the most visual and readily identifiable pieces of Nazi equipment: flags. After weapons, medals, and helmets, flags seem to have been one of the most popular trophies seized by Allied soldiers and brought home at war's end. Nothing said victory more visually than a German flag, with its iconography completely representative of the political system that Allied soldiers had fought against and eventually defeated. But such prized trophies have, with the passing of World War II veterans, become difficult objects for veterans' families to inherit, and many remain stored in attics or basements, deliberately kept out of sight lest their possession be misinterpreted. Over the years of running this channel, I've lost count of the numbers of times people have emailed me to discuss the flag problem, as I call it. They have inherited a Nazi flag from a deceased veteran parent or grandparent, and fret over what to do with it. It's not for me to say what anybody should do or should not do with such items. But, however, recently a man contacted me saying that he had an unwanted Nazi flag and wanted to give it to me, hoping that it would be of some educational use. So many thanks to John Gill for making this video possible. So, without further ado, let's unbox it and see exactly what we have, as Nazi Germany used many different types of flags during World War II. So the background to this flag is a bit hazy. The father of the person who sent it to me was given it, and some medals, by a work colleague back in the mid-1980s. I presume the colleague was a veteran, or had recently inherited it from a veteran, and he knew the other man was interested in history and gave him the items according to the recipient's son. The two men were British, so I'm guessing that this flag was taken as a trophy by a British serviceman during one of the campaigns in northwest Europe or Italy. Other than that, we know nothing. The flag is easily identifiable, one of several main types of German flag encountered by Allied troops. Its official name is a Reichsdienstflagge, or in English, the Imperial Service Flag, and was flown on all Nazi buildings not used by the armed forces, for example embassies, ministry buildings, the Reichsbank, and so on, as well as on some small German naval craft. It was introduced in 1935 and consists of a large red field with a large white disc to the center edged with a narrow inner black border, which in turn is edged with a white border. Set on the white disc is a large black upright swastika, and this is outlined with a narrow white line and then a slightly broader black border to the edges of the arms. The ends of the swastika are not cut at right angles, but follow the line of the circumference of the black circle. In the upper left portion of the flag is an eagle and swastika in white, edged in black, the eagle's head facing towards the hoist. This example of this type of flag is actually quite special. 99% of these flags were simply printed onto cotton, but the swastika has been built up using separate pieces stitched onto the flag, and the eagle is also a separate piece of cloth sewn onto the flag. This design is repeated on both sides. According to my research, a flag constructed like this would have been flown from an important building, so this would have been quite the prize for the British soldier that cut it down. The flag has suffered some moth damage over the intervening 8 decades since its capture, as many of these items have ended up in lofts or basements. And the remains of the white rope that suspended it from the flagpole is still in place, by the looks of it, cut using a knife or bayonet from capture. The flag also has no visible makers or military markings. As I mentioned, the Reichsdienstflagge was one of several types of German flags most often taken as war prizes by Allied troops. The most infamous is this one, the German national flag from 1935 to 45. You may notice that the central swastika is slightly offset to the left. Another is this. This is the flag of the Nazi Party from 1920 to 1945. The swastika is centered on this flag. The German armed forces use this image, the Reichskriegsflagge, or war flag, personally designed by Adolf Hitler. It incorporates a mobile swastika in the center, set over a black cross, and in the top left quarter of the flag an iron cross. This was flown from all German military buildings, institutions and barracks, and also by warships and U-boats in various sizes. It was used between 1935 and 45. Another common flag of this era was the Hitler Youth flag, and also that of the Reichsarbeitsdienst, the German Labour Service. There was, of course, also a plethora of other Nazi flags from this period, from the many different organizations. And all were eagerly taken as trophies by Allied troops as symbols of victory over Hitler and Nazism. A great many thanks once again to John Gill for making this video possible. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also visit my audiobook channel, War Stories with Mark Felton. You can also help to support both of my channels at PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.